God made a promise that Abraham and Sarah would have a son, and they did, even in their old age. God also promised that they would have many children, become a nation. And so with Isaac's birth, he grew up, he got married, and he started to have kids as well. At first, Isaac's wife Rebekah could not have kids, so Isaac prayed, and God allowed her to have twins. The older was called Esau. He grew up to be a hairy man, a cunning hunter, and a man of the field. Isaac especially loved the venison that he would hunt and cook for him, and he favored Esau above his brother. The younger twin was Jacob. He came out of the womb with his hand on his brother's heel. He is described as a plain man, but that means perfect, complete, or wholesome. Typically, it means he looked good. He's also described as a person to dwell in tents. He wasn't as physically active as his brother Esau. And his mother Rebekah favored Jacob over Esau. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do to me?" One day Esau came back, probably from hunting, and he was very hungry. He asked for food from Jacob since he was cooking some soup. But Jacob requested Esau's birthright as payment. The birthright is the inheritance, usually reserved for the oldest child. It included a greater portion of possessions and items from the parents, the heritage of being God's chosen people. But Esau didn't think much of his birthright. He gave the very dramatic excuse that he was dying of hunger, not even taking any time to look for what food might already be prepared and ready to eat. Esau thought of his heritage as God's people to be of little value, to be traded for one meal. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes very dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, "My son." And he said, "Behold, here am I." And he said, "Behold now, I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison." As the years went by, Isaac became very old. His eyesight was getting very weak. He couldn't see things clearly or well at all. And he called for his son. He was going to bestow on him the blessing, the birthright of the oldest son. Esau did not take responsibility for the arrangement he made with Jacob. He decided to go out and do as his father said and take the birthright anyway, despite that he had sold it to Jacob. But Rebekah heard this conversation, and Jacob being her favored son, she wanted to trick Isaac into giving the birthright to Jacob. The blessing was already sold to Jacob. In Genesis 25, verse 23, it says, "And the Lord said unto her, Rebekah, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." So we know that even God intended for Jacob to carry the birthright. But he did not intend for Rebekah to lie and trick Isaac. This made things much worse than they should have been. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And Jacob said unto his father, "I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me." To make the lie believable, Rebekah put goat hair on Jacob, on his neck and arms, to make him feel like Esau his brother. Isaac heard Jacob's voice, but it felt like Esau, so he believed him and gave him the blessing. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Notice the wording here. That's the same wording that God had given to Abraham. Isaac was passing on this blessing, this heritage, to Jacob, though he thought it was Esau. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Just as Jacob was leaving, Esau came up to his father. And when he learned of what had happened, that Isaac had been tricked, Esau suddenly felt the loss of the value of that birthright that he had so carelessly sold. We should not be careless with what God has given us. We should cherish it and use it for his glory as best as we are able. But Jacob is not innocent either. Rebekah and Jacob went about this in a way that hurt their family. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Because Rebekah and Jacob did it this way, they lied and tricked Isaac. So Esau wanted to kill his brother Jacob. He wanted to chase him down and take revenge for his taking his blessing in this way. So neither party did things as God would have had them do it. Esau was careless with his birthright. He did not value it as he should have. And Jacob lied and tricked his father. Both of these things combined divided their family. This is not what God had intended, because they tried to do things their own way, or to satisfy their desires immediately instead of waiting on God. We should have patience, value the things God has given us, and use them as best we can to bring glory to Him.